So I've got a very, very diverse panel over here, and as you know, we're talking about disruption, we're talking about intermediaries, we're talking about what happened over the last 2 years and what's happening today and what's going to happen going forward. Disruption in each segment comes in different forms, in different shapes and sizes. A little micro invisible bug made us all stay home for months, followed by a monkeypox, which got the West very nervous. And as this is a very outbound focused group, now you've got a disruption from the smallest things of getting visas. I mean, I've gotten so many calls that need to go. I mean, I know of kids who are getting the visa appointments after the date of joining in the US. What's also sad that there are ways to get the visas if you're willing to put your hand in your pockets. I guess that's a public secret. But let's, how do you see your lives having changed? How do you see the opportunities for you going forward? Now, each one of you is representing, you have the destination, Azerbaijan. It's on my list, I haven't been there, but I've seen such amazing pictures. You've got some hotels, and you've got some very senior professionals who've been sending people going out. So, Anil, let me start with you. I gave you the brief, so this is an ideation session, so my favorite form of ideation is brainstorm. There are no right, there are no wrong answers. Over to you.
Right. So good afternoon, friends. My personal feel is that only our credibility keeps us in the market today. When the client is looking for something special, when he feels that he needs an advice which probably the net is not giving him, or probably some sort of information or a better fare, that he comes looking for us. That is the time when we are able to add value to him and get that business. For that, I speak of majority of the agents who are still having a one-to-one connect with the customers. The world has really changed, and we feel that remuneration has been thrown out of the window. We are left to fend for ourselves. There is a minimum wage for employees, but there is no minimum remuneration for us. In our business, there is no MRP, and everybody is charging his own price, and there is an effort by airlines to charge more on the net. The sort of ammunition or the things that we had to stay in business are being taken away one by one. As soon as the information goes out that this is where the agency has an edge, we have tried. It is tried that that sort of is not within our purview any longer. But we are still surviving. We still make money, and I wish it was more on a level playing field, on a level playing platform, than the way it has to be done today. Because there is a cost to run an agency, and there is a cost to have good people. And to be able to stay above the water, you have to make money. And for that, a back-end remuneration as part of the fare that you are charging has to be there. Be it hotels, cruises, anything else, across the board, air tickets. Because the mind finds it very difficult to give service charges, especially when the thing that you're trying to sell is standardized and is available on the net. And cash is king. The availability of money has to be faster with a travel agent. The access to have money coming your way has to be faster, because your payments are more or less immediate. And some of the airlines even want it before you even issue the tickets. From 3rd July, we are going to have issuing capacity equivalent to the amount of financial that we have provided to ITA, which will itself be a big challenge, because there will be no scope to overtrade, and for us to make any tickets beyond our financial capacity will be very difficult. But on the other hand, if you look at things, it will give an opportunity to the standard travel agents to be back in the business, because there will be no capping, and the standard travel agent will be able to issue his own tickets, and maybe some of the tickets which we are forced to still buy from outside, we might be able to do them ourselves and have a better say and a better control on our business. One of the major aspects is that the money has to come very fast to the travel agent. The cost of incurring, of accepting credit cards or accepting online payments, sending links to our customers has to come down drastically. We have to ensure that the minimum money is spent to collect cash. There are some people who don't want to give bank transfers, who want to pay on credit cards, and we should be in a position to accept those cards at a sort of discounted level or absorb the cost perhaps. So we've been working towards that. We want that, the agent should have a tool where you are able to accept money faster and in a very reasonable manner. Also, the capacity to issue tickets vis-a-vis the financials that you hold is currently, we have a weekly payment cycle. So if your X capacity is there, they hold it till the time that you actually make the payment to ITA. So which means that it is actually half of what you have actually given ITA, which is a concern. We have been taking up with ITA to perhaps give us some sort of leverage that financial can be used for a week, so that we have enough money available to issue more tickets. So the positive thing is there is enough business in the market, and the plates are full. There is a lot of demand, and with the opening up of the economy, the cruises will come on board, more hotel requests will be there, and I'm sure we will have enough money to stay afloat. And I think it is a positive time, and we see that things will get better in the times to come.
Thanks, Anil. I mean, you said business is looking good, business is coming up. I think industry needs to take a very deep look at the service charge issue, because everyone needs to do it together or no one succeeds. You use the word cruises, so I'm going to pivot to Varun. Varun, I think the cruise industry was one that was most severely impacted of all, because they just couldn't put a ship out there full of COVID passengers, and we heard of ships actually being stranded. I also hear there's a lot of comeback. So what's your take on the disruption, the partnerships going forward?
Okay, good. No, so I mean, thank you for having me here. I mean, it's a great time, because as I speak to you, I think of the nearly 450 ocean carriers that we have, I think about 95% of them are now sailing with passengers.
Wow.
So that's great news for all of us. From an Indian standpoint, I mean, we're obviously not immune to some of the problems all of us are facing in terms of, visas and sort of supply chains and flights, etc. But I think it's just looking all in the right direction, so that's great, right? Great news. Capacity is filling up. Cruise lines are ramping up their capacity. We're I think close to about 80%, 75, 80%, and we think by the turn of the year, definitely next year, we'll be at about not 100 but 120%, right, in our world, because we like to double up. So that's great news. I mean, great opportunities. And I guess the next big thing for us is, cruising. We already have one from home, is to get a few more from home, or the next best thing closer to home. Sometimes I think that's even better, right? Because you get a bit of both. You're getting them very close to home, and you're getting some from home. So that's great. I mean, on the disruption front, and I mean, thinking about this, and I echo, what Anil sir said. I think the last 4 or 5 years, and of course pre-COVID, have been great, right? I mean, generally they've been great for travel, and it looks like it's going to be, as good, if not better, going forward. I think customer has been king, right? But I think it's come at the cost of certain business models, right, that we haven't sort of put to play, or at the cost of our business model, if I may say so. right? And I mean, I'm going to echo what Anilji just said. I think we have to find a way where, you know, we are dictating or we are putting forth, maybe not dictating, but we are putting forth our terms, right, to the customer, because it's our business at the end of the day, right? And I think that's where the opportunity lies. And whether you look at, you know, segmenting the market, whether you look at varied commission plus service fee, whether we look at sort of, you know, re-nomenclaturing, what we stand for. I mean, today, for a customer, everyone could be a travel agent, right? But we know there are layers within layers among us. For example, you know, I'll give you an example, something I've been thinking about. If you call yourself a travel advisor, why not charge an advisory fee, right? And if you want to still be called a travel agent, then go ahead and use a commission model, right? And or find something in the middle that works. And I think even within this there are layers, because, you know, you could have travel advisors who are charging you 50,000 rupees to talk to you, right? As you would pay any other professional, right, from any other industry, and versus someone who could be charging you a lot less. But then at least we've put our best forward in giving the customer the right to choose, right? And presenting ourselves the way we want to pitch ourselves, right? So that right of refusal should sit with us and not so much with the end consumer. And I think in that we're trying to control, you know, our business model and put forth sort of, you know, our terms, right? Which, and we all know, I mean, you know, they will be accommodating. We all want business, it's all there, right? But how do we just do this? And also, I think the harder part, that's the easier part. I think the harder part is trying to get everyone to do this together. You know, so I think those are my two bits, just on some of the challenges and opportunities. And on the cruising front, yeah, come on, I mean, we can do a lot better. We should be doing a lot better. So yeah, we really look forward to that.
Yeah, but I like the word dictate. What the hell? We deserve it. No, but I think, you know, it all comes down to the industry thinking we're not agents, we're advisors. No one bargains with the doctors, no one bargains with the lawyers, but everyone thinks it's a birthright to bargain with their travel company. Ambassador Shiklev, you come from a country that is gaining popularity in India, and of course, I know you've invested a lot with the Indian travel trade. How do you feel, what is the role of the travel trade over here to support you in your mission to get more Indians there? And how do you feel from a competitive set point of view to come back from the disruption for the Indian consumer?
Thank you. It is an honor and privilege to be on this panel and to speak before such a distinguished tourism operators and tourism agents. Azerbaijan is translated as a land of fire. So when you sell the product, and you should know that this is now the hottest product on the tourism market of India, Azerbaijan. So when you say Azerbaijan, your clients would say, where is that? When you say the land of fire, Azerbaijan, they would say, I'm willing to go there. All right? So it is how you present the country. Now Azerbaijan is located on the shore of the Caspian Sea. And why it is hottest on the Indian market? Because of the, frankly speaking, because of the Bollywood and Tollywood industry. It came in 2018 to Azerbaijan, and in 2018 the number of Indian tourists visiting Azerbaijan doubled. 2019 again doubled, reached 65,000. And after 2 years of pandemic, the tourists of India are hungry to travel. And in Azerbaijan, they feel that, well, 1 million tourists annually from India is reachable in 3-4 years. And without you, it is not possible, of course. but with you, with your efforts, that is reachable. And this is good business for you. So, during the pandemic years, in Azerbaijan, in all the other countries, in India as well, domestic tourism developed. What it means the new products. It means the regions have been made, the beautiful sceneries have been made tourism friendly. These places are waiting for Indian tourists to come. So you will be able to offer a variety of new products than before the pandemic. There was a talk about how difficult to get visa. E-visa to Azerbaijan, there are two visas, urgent and standard. Urgent visa we can apply here and get it in 3 hours, guaranteed. But 90% of people who apply for urgent visa get it in 1 hour. You get it on your mobile and you can travel. So that, and it is not costly. It is, urgent visa is $60. Standard visa is $25. So it is quite cheap relative to others. So with 1 million Indian tourists expected, we need the 5-star Indian hotels, famous hotels like Taj, like Aberoy, like ICT Moria in Azerbaijan. Why? Because that is more business for you. If Indian tourists go there and the money goes to Hyatt, they go to Hilton, they go to other branches, that is not coming to India. So it's good to have Indian hotels there. Now the MICE. When the Indian, this is a good opportunity for you to make additional money. So the MICE groups comes to the tourism agents or tourism operators, and it's like, it never is that next week we are moving. There is approximately 3-4 weeks time ahead. Now you should know that when I received information that this company is taking MICE, 350 people to Azerbaijan to have a MICE meeting, what I think about them, I think this is a miserable job. This is not a work, all right? Because they are underutilizing the opportunities. If the big company is taking 350 people to Azerbaijan and spending this much of money, let's work with the embassy of Azerbaijan to arrange for their leadership the meetings in the Ministry of Economy, to show them some special economic zone, to show the head of the port, to show some local partners, to arrange B2B meetings, all right? So one day will be MICE, one day will be the government to that company meetings, and one day would be sightseeing, and they will come back with some good ideas. This may turn into investment opportunity in Azerbaijan. It means that these people will be coming to you now and then to go to Azerbaijan. That is why I'm calling it redefined MICE. So whenever you have the idea that some big company is taking MICE group to Azerbaijan, please work with the embassy ahead of that so that we have the government meetings for them. We have to take them to some factories, to some industrial production places, and this might be additional travel sales for you. Then the Bollywood, Tollywood stars and yoga stars and other dignitaries, when they visit your offices and they are planning to go to Azerbaijan, this is, I mean, you give them the best discounts because this is additional business opportunities for you. Now, this with media and soft media the development, this is a kind of advertisement that is gold. I will tell you one case. I'm watching on YouTube and see Sadhguru, and he, in recent 3 years, maybe 3 times he visited Azerbaijan. He's sitting in the old city of Azerbaijan, and you should know that the old city, it's like a fairy tale. You imagine the fairy tale castle, and that is our old city. He is sitting in the old city and eating pahlava, and his words are, this is the complimentary pahlava that I got, and it is the tastiest pahlava in my life. And you imagine, this person is a world known. The number of followers are limitless. Only on Twitter he has 5-6 million people. And these words out of his mouth, it is additional business for you, right? So when you see that a movie star or yoga famous guru is coming to you, this is a business. So you give them good discount, and they should be promoting the destination where you're sending them, all right? So it could be Azerbaijan, could be another country, but if it is Azerbaijan, you remember that it is the land of fire, mysterious Azerbaijan, that you should sell, all right? Yeah, thank you. This was a good occasion to introduce. You see, this is a flame towers. Why flame towers? Because in Azerbaijan used to be 3 places where the live fire is burning for centuries and centuries. Now only one, Atashkar temple till 1960s. That is an Indian temple. Till 1960s there was a live fire, now no more. The only remaining is Yanardağ. So you go there at night, you take your groups there at night. It is magnificent. It is magnificent by all standards. The old city, as I said, it's like a fairy tale that you can imagine. The very touristic, cozy streets, a lot of visitors all over the world, Indian tourists including. Recently there was Formula 1 in Baku city, and they're calling me saying that the city looks Arabic. I said, wait a little bit, it will be looking Indian. Indian tourists are coming back. Thank you, lovely being here.
Thank you, Ambassador. Your visa was very impressive, and next time you meet our Foreign Minister Jaishankar, maybe tell him how you did it, and hopefully we'll get a little benefit of that. DJ, over to you. You've had the experience of selling global, and now you have the experience of selling across this large nation, and you've seen the trade inside out over the years. I mean, I've known you for what? I don't know, 20 plus?
20 plus years.
Yeah, we're getting old. It's good to see someone like Varun on a table like this.
I was just telling someone how old I am, because I was calculating back how many years I've been in the industry, and it's 15.
Yeah, Varun, your
That's
parents,
not young.
Varun, your parents have known me since I was this big, okay, and when I was in my shorts. So, DJ.
So coming to the hotel industry, obviously I don't want to touch upon too much on the challenges. I think all my industry colleagues here will understand that, and most travel industry people also know that we had our lows and now slowly we are back into our highs. And I think we will navigate that as well and end the year with a good numbers for all of our chains or brands. So I think the opportunities what we saw during this period was the entire way we approached to our business was completely different. We had no corporate travel, we had no MICE travel, so I think everybody had to reinvent what to do and how to fill those rooms and keep the hotels fire burning and see what we could do. There were some of the hotel chains closing down and all that. So we looked into a few things that we could really do. Some of the segments which really helped us was sports. Some could be the weddings, which is a big hit for almost every hotel industry, people here sitting here. The travel trade, which was the big sellout for us. Another opportunity we saw, people who were doing outbound, were only restricted to outbound, started selling domestic. People who were doing inbound were also moving to domestic, so that was a big plus for all of us. So I think everybody cashed in that opportunity as this one. So thanks to all the travel trade fraternity here, you've been supportive and we will still continue to work along that. So that's one part of the whole story, what we can see. And I think the main disruption which continues is obviously the online and the offline. So to the travel trade, my strong recommendation is, like Mr. Kalsi mentioned, we need to be engaging with the clients more often. And that happened with us as well. I think like we engaged with the B2B or the travel planners or travel advisors like you all, we went on doing enough educations we did offline education, talking about our products, reminding the frontline staff, talking what can be offered. So this is one thing I'm sure we all must be doing, but I think that the game has changed now because people are now looking at not only places where they can find a hideaway, or luxury is new, the hygiene and safety. So that's the first priority for everybody. Whether my family will be safe, everything is hygiene there. And we won't get a fourth or whatever the wave that could happen in the future, because nobody knows. So I think that is one part, and similarly all these education should be imparted to your consumers and kind of bring that value proposition. Varun was saying, yes, why don't we charge? That's the way I think abroad people charge for the services. You can download itineraries, but the personal touch, I think is that what everybody gives here, right? That's what you all offer in terms of services. You have your captive clients, you have them, they also go online and they come back and tell you this is the price, be it in a hotel, be it in cruise, be it in car rental, or be any other itinerary. So I think working on that and doing that personalized, highly personalized, I would say, not just personalized, everybody we're doing personalized, but highly personalized is what will win for you all, and I think that is the way to go, the mantra in future. Intermediaries in any fashion, be it online, offline, inbound, outbound, whatever you call it. I've worked in all the spaces, so I know it very well how it works. Everybody has a space. Everybody has their own areas of specialization, and that's the way you can go forward. Those are my little bit of
Many decades ago, there used to be an online travel portal called Travelocity.
Yes.
And there was one more. I cannot remember the name.
Expedia?
No, before Expedia. There were two in the US. And everyone in America had said, travel agent is dead, the American industry is doomed, everyone will die. No one died. The US industry was very successful in moving to a fee model, and what I would encourage all the associations here, you've got two sitting here, I know IATA was there. I think you need to invest in education, and it's a long process, for our stakeholders to understand the difference between selling on product and money and selling on value. I have built my business not competing on price. There are always people cheaper than us. I give it for free, I know people who give it a discount on free. But we need to enhance our skills, and we are culturally not very good at this. Selling on value, selling on what we bring to the table, not selling only on bed and breakfast and hotel, because people have survived and people are doing very well across the world. Betaya.
Tourism and travel have begun to be recognized by governments across continents for economic gain and prosperity. Tourism is the most sustainable force for world peace, a passport to progress. BITB, an industry platform aimed at senior professionals, serious networking, and knowledge sharing across verticals, recently concluded its conclave at Pullman Aerocity. In attendance were stalwarts from different verticals of the travel and hospitality industry, and discussions were held on topics such as the future of travel agents and tour operators. Presidents of the four leading travel associations, TAAI, TAFI, IATO and ADTOI, participated in the discussions.
Without anybody expecting it. So, lots of hope in saying TAI and TAFI will work together. They'll bring down the wall. And
a conclave like this provides that opportunity to brainstorm, to see where we can actually work together.
BITB 19th edition conclave. This is really needed during this period.
Yes, people here can provide fantastic experiences. They can build experiences, which is what a traveler is looking for now, more and more and more.
How to ensure when airlines go bankrupt, how do we ensure that travel agents, tour operators and customers get their money? Every crisis, every challenge has an opportunity.
excellent.
So look at the opportunities.
Thank you.
We actually don't give our own services the value. And I think that's where we are lacking as an industry. Unless we actually take a conscious call to say that, hey, we are one industry. We believe in services like the doctors do or the lawyers do.
One is a platform, you people are the human interface. What you bring to the table, no one else can. Like Rohit said, you are the product. You get the customers, you tie up the hotel, you give all services.
This is the kind of minimum charges that you ought to be levying for services that you provide. Unfortunately, the travel agent fraternity is not very united on these things. That's our failing.
I'm saying the funding will come. But it has to be from a neutral body, which is trusted. Or we can go out to EY, McKinsey, whatever, get it done. I think, but there's also time to act, sir. I fear the government's involved. 6 months, 12 months, there's time to act right now.